Hi, everybody. This is me, Health Coach Callie. I just wanted to follow up from this morning's amazing interview that I had with Evangelist Rose Grisby from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, aka my cousin, my fam, and all things wonderful about her. She is an amazing woman of God, and I just appreciate her having me on this morning. So if you missed her live call at 5 a.m., you missed a blessing, because I tell you, she had me in tears, because that woman can surely pray. So you can definitely tell that she is anointed by the Holy Spirit. So Rose, thank you so much for having me on this morning. And I want to encourage you all to follow her on Facebook and join that live 5 a.m. call, because I was certainly blessed this morning without a doubt, and it just really gave me the power and the energy and everything that I needed to just be encouraged for today and go on and do everything that I needed to do, because I just felt so blessed by her message and by her prayers. And she even prayed and covered me before we had the call. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Rose. You are amazing. I absolutely love and adore you. And you know what? I'm just going to go with what the Holy Spirit tells me to go with. God can use people in all different walks of life. It doesn't matter where you are currently. You may think you don't have a story, or, my story is too seedy for anybody to care, or I've been through this and I've been through that. Who cares about my story? But everybody's got a testimony in them, and I have several. And everybody has several stories that they can tell. You've got a book in you, just like I had a book in me, and I've got other books as well. And let's glorify God's kingdom by telling our stories that can hopefully bless someone else and help them to not go through the things that you may have gone through. If you can save one life, guess what? That's all we need, and one other life will save another one, and so on and so forth. So what I really wanted to talk to y'all about is just kind of follow up from the call that we had today, and share a little more information about, chronic disease, and diabetes being one of them. I've been thrust into the diabetes world for about 20 years now, actually. And even starting, as I mentioned on the call this morning, as a little girl. Hi, everybody. Oh, everybody's joining. Good afternoon, y'all. Thank y'all for joining. And really, since I was 9 years old, my grandmother was diagnosed with diabetes, and she wasn't able to really take care of herself. So at the right young age of 9, I was actually helping to care for my lovely grandmother, who has since gone on. God bless her soul. But I say that to say she had diabetes, so I had no idea that my life would really encompass talking about chronic disease, talking about natural healing, talking about wellness of not only the body, but also the spirit and the mind as well. But in terms of diabetes, since we touched on it earlier today, I've been in doctor's offices where people were diagnosed with diabetes. People were, at the end stages of the complications, and they, were experiencing blindness or had to go on kidney dialysis, or even, were suffering from the effects of the medication. And I'm here to tell you that the doctors tell you about diet and exercise being the first line of therapy when you go in and are diagnosed with any chronic disease, whether or not it's diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular. They always tell you the first line of therapy is diet and exercise, but they know we're not going to do it. The easiest thing for us to do, and the least expensive thing for us to do, is to change our lifestyle. And I get it. We've been doing this same thing for 40 years. We cook like our parents did, so we eat like our parents did. And even though they may tell you, you are prone to diabetes or some of these other chronic diseases that are lifestyle related, the devil is a lie. You don't have to have diabetes. You're more likely to get it simply because we share the same lifestyle. So if your parents were sedentary, if your parents, consumed a lot of fatty meat, a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of sugar, a lot of fat, then that means that, it's in your DNA already, and by sheer design of the family that you grew up in, you're more than likely to get it. So for myself, even though I do have family members that have diabetes, I'm now almost 45, I do not. I have lots of family members that are suffering from many ailments. One of which, and I mentioned this earlier today, that my both sides of my family, my mom's side and my dad's side of the family, the women suffered from fibroids and had to get their uteruses removed early on. And thankfully, God saved my uterus, and I was able to have my son, who's going to be 12 years old tomorrow. Yay! Yes, generational curses can absolutely be broken, but first we have to recognize it as a generational curse, because I feel like we don't recognize the things like, our addiction to food as being a generational curse, and it absolutely is, because we carry that through generation through generation through generation, never really getting to the pinnacle of our life like God intended us to do. So you absolutely can break a generational curse, but you have to recognize that that's what it is first and foremost. And there are generational curses about all kind of things, not only food, but what we choose to do in life, the men that we choose, the women that we choose, to have in our lives, relationships that aren't good. Those are all part of generational curses that we need to break for sure. But recognize that it is such, and you can break it. You have to be intentional. You have to pray, meditate, and take it to God and recognize that it is what it is, but you want to be the change, and you can do it. So with diabetes, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's a generational curse. So many people have diabetes. So many people have type 2 diabetes. I have tons of family members, but they all eat the same. And some of it is lack of information in terms of the habits that they have. And then most of it is just our lack of willingness to change. And that is also part of having a generational curse, where we think that we know it all, and this is the end of the road, and the body automatically breaks down as I get a certain age. And that is not true. It's a lie. It's a lie. Oh, thank you, Rose. I will tell Chase happy birthday. So it's a lie. It's a lie that has been told time and time again. We have to recognize that the body does not break down. God did not create us to break down. God created us to prosper and be happy and whole, and to live the best life that we have the ability to live. It breaks down because what we put in our bodies. That's why it breaks down. It breaks down from the food that we consume, the drinks that we drink, and I'm not just talking about alcohol. I'm talking about sugary drinks as well. It's kind of like pick your poison, whether or not you want to be poisoned by, some diet soda or a regular soda, or drinks that are chock full of sugars in it. All those things make a difference. And y'all, we gotta drink some water. Drink some dang on water. If I hear one more person ask me, does tea count, and you are a grown man or woman in your 40s and you don't recognize that you need to drink water, me and you need to have a conversation. I'm gonna take you out to the woodshed, like they said back in the day. Yes, they are all bad habits that put us in the hospital, y'all. Have us spending all of our retirement money on pills and on being in the hospital, just everything. And then, not to mention, don't get on some dialysis, man, because I'm telling you, you do not want to go there. And if I had a choice between changing my eating to being on dialysis, being cognizant about what I put in my mouth, to being on kidney dialysis 5 times a week. And Pastor Rose talked about it earlier today. Somebody even got a kidney. Do you know how hard it is to get a kidney? Do you know how hard it is to get a kidney? Some people have been on the list to get a kidney donated to them for years. Somebody got a kidney, did not change their eating habits, and still died. Now, how in the world is that right? How is that right? How do you get a second chance and basically eat yourself to death? Somebody said it best years ago when I was listening to the radio. She said, we survived all kind of atrocities in life. We survived the Middle Passage, we survived slavery, we survived civil rights, women's suffrage, and everything that's going on today, to only kill ourselves at the freaking dinner table. For real, y'all, we killing ourselves at the dinner table because we don't want to give up pork. I can't give up my pork. Ooh, I love my bacon. Well, guess what? That bacon don't love you. And if you watch What the Health, you will know what I'm talking about. It's What the Health. It's a documentary that I'm talking about to everybody because I absolutely love it. And I feel like it is a game changer for a lot of people. So bacon and bread and lots of dairy, you know what? If you are African American, I guarantee you are lactose intolerant. And what you are doing is creating an environment of inflammation and disease as long as you continue to want to have your cheese, to want to have your, macaroni and cheese and want to have milk and all that kind of stuff. And we're giving our kids this poison. We're the only species that actually consumes milk from another animal. That is crazy ridiculous, right? Crazy ridiculous. And I'm just saying, I'm just trying to help y'all because I love y'all so much. And I know what it has done for me and how my life has been changed just simply by changing the food that I put in my body. And not just, my body has changed physically, but internally. I healed myself from a lot of stuff. And even now, if I eat something that I know I'm not supposed to eat, like I was, telling Pastor Rose, I don't mind telling y'all, I'm perfectly human just like you are. I had some French fries the other day, y'all. And because my body is normally very clean, the reaction was immediate. That morning I woke up and my feet were on swole and hurting. But I took myself to the gym anyway, and I said to myself, you know what? Is it worth it? Was it worth the feeling that I had when I got up in the morning with my feet swollen like crazy? I know y'all out there and understand what I'm talking about, because a lot of y'all carry that swollen feet and swollen ankles and arms and all that with you all day, every day. And you don't have to. You don't have to. I had another customer that was on the 4-day detox, and so I told you guys about that before. In terms of helping with my hormones, getting everything in balance. No more hot flashes. Haven't had a hot flash since, and I am just thrilled. But she went on the 4-day detox. She said she slept better than she slept in years. No hot flashes at all, and her energy was through the roof. And all it takes is putting some good stuff in our bodies, y'all. But we got to detox some of the bad stuff out first. So, get a detox. If you don't do my 4-day detox, which is on CallieBradford.com, it's a how-to. You can do it yourself. You can order juice from Go Smoothies, Go Press Juice. But I really, really want you all to get healthy. And it starts with getting rid of some of those toxins, because that is critical. And then starting fresh. So what I'm going to add to the 4-day detox now is an elimination plan for you all to be able to stick to. So that way you can figure out what foods cause you inflammation. So if you've got gas and bloating and you recognize or notice that your skin breaks out when you consume certain foods, guess what? That is your soul, your inner spirit saying, this is not good for me and I need to do something different. All right, also check out the documentary Plant Pure Nation. I have not heard of that, and I will. Tiffany, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, yeah. If being transparent can help anybody, I am all about that. And you know what? Transparency also helps us to purge our own soul and our mind and spirit as well. So thank you, Rose, for saying that. But I want y'all to know, somebody said I'm eating some fries right now. I know, and they taste good, but they are not good for us, especially anything white. Those white potatoes are just not good. And so type 2 diabetes. I want to give you guys some tips because I felt like that's what I left off this morning when we were having a conversation with Evangelist Rose. So with type 2 diabetes, anything white is going to elevate your blood sugar. Anything white. So white sugar, white potatoes, white bread, anything white rice. And we've got that rice thing bad, especially down south. I know I love my southern cuisine. I love the food in Louisiana, absolutely. But you can do it a different way. My mother-in-law used to make me jambalaya using brown rice and no meat. And it tastes just as good. So I'm telling you, you can do it. So anything white. So white rice, white bread, white sugar, white potatoes, white pasta, all of those things that you consume help to elevate your blood sugar. So if you sit down at a meal and you're having a spaghetti dinner, you got some garlic bread, and then on top of it, you got a piece of cake afterwards, guess what? You are headed down a road that you do not want to head down, and that is the road to type 2 diabetes, I'm telling you right now. The other thing is activity. Activity is critical. So number 2, activity is critical. Even if you are walking at least 30 minutes per day, at least, it doesn't have to be vigorous. I know we got joint pain, muscle aches, and all kind of things that, the enemy is telling us that's keeping us from doing it. But I see people in the gym with one leg working out, people in the gym with MS, people in the gym, half blind, people in the gym with one arm working out. So if they can get up and get to the gym and work out, you can certainly walk a block around your home. So activity, movement, at least 30 minutes a day. The other thing is track your fat calories. We don't hear a lot about fat calories. Fat calories do a lot because they actually clog up our arteries. They clog up the arteries to the point where you can't get the proper blood flow to certain organs, your pancreas being one of them. And your pancreas is the one that's responsible for insulin delivery, insulin resistance, and for people getting diabetes ultimately. And so somebody's saying hi to me from the outside. You really have to think about the things that we're putting in our body. So fat, track your fat calories, your fat grams. And fat comes from, I hate to break it to y'all, sugar. Sugar. So excess sugar actually turns into fat when it gets into our body. And on top of it, if you are consuming a lot of pastries and cookies and cakes and pies, and I know because I love those things too, but you're not doing it in moderation, you're eating that stuff every day, really that should be for celebratory purposes. It should not be every single day we got to have something sweet. But that stuff is chock full of not only sugar, but fat. So if you consume a diet that is full of pastries every single day, donuts, cookies, cake, whatever, guess what? You're going to pack on a bunch of pounds and you're going to make it hard for your organs to get the proper energy that it needs to be able to survive and thrive. All right, so that is number 3. So we've got our white carbs, right? Not carbs in general. Carbs in general, lots of lots of vegetables, moderate amount of fruit, especially if you've got diabetes or you're prone to have diabetes, but we're going to rebuke that in the name of Jesus right now. But if you are prone to diabetes, you want to make sure that you limit your fruit intake and make sure that it is fibrous fruit. So fibrous fruit includes things like pears and apples, peaches, plums. Those are some of the fibrous fruits that you can consume that will help to keep your blood sugar level steady. All right, so what do we have, y'all? Repeat after me. White carbs, bad. I'm just saying they are. So there are substitutes. So sweet potatoes you can use. Red skin potatoes would be the second best thing from a white potato. Whole grain pasta, whole wheat pasta. They make something called quinoa pasta now that you can choose to make your pasta with. That's what I use now. So there are lots of alternatives. I would encourage you to Google it or look at one of my newsletters. If you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, it's CallieBradford.com. You can subscribe to my newsletter right on Facebook as well and get more information about some of the things that I am sharing with you guys. So movement, 30 minutes a day. Fat calories and sugar, make sure that you are doing that in moderation. Please get in some raw fruit and vegetables. Get in raw fruit and vegetables as much as you can because those are going to be the ones that are chock full of nutrients. And I guarantee you, if you do those things, you will be on the road to health, good health, great health, optimal health. You will conquer whatever it is that you've got going on, whether it be diabetes, hypertension, or cardiovascular problems. In fact, a cardiologist told me himself when I was calling on him that 30 minutes of physical activity does more for you than a statin drug that you get put on will do for you in the short term. So in the long term, you want to change your habit, basically. Stop putting a Band-Aid on the problem, y'all. Stop putting a Band-Aid on the problem. That's what we're doing. Oh, you guys are welcome. You're welcome. Yes, Timmy, we got to stop the freaking excuses. If I hear, like I said, one of my biggest things right now is listening to somebody that is well on their way. If they haven't already had type 2 diabetes, they are well on their way toward it. And they tell me that they can't stop eating bread. I just can't stop eating bread. I love bread. Bread is killing you. It's killing you, so you need to stop it. I can't give up my pork. Watch What the Health, and I promise you that you're going to give up pork. You're not going to want to eat that anymore. So please, I want you to be healthy. I want you to be prosperous and wealthy and happy, and the power is within you. You know, we talked about this morning how God created us to be perfect in his image, right? God also created us to have a good life here. We don't have to have all this pain and suffering that people think we have to endure while we're here on earth, because God's spirit lives in you. He lives in you. So anything that you want, you put your mind to it, you put the action toward it, you can make it happen. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. So a couple things I wanted to share with you guys. This is one of my favorite books now. It is called Sweet Disease. Somebody write that down for me. Thank you, Evangelist Rose, for writing down some tips. So, Sweet Disease, what sugars and artificial sweeteners are doing to your health. So check this out. You can get it on Amazon. If you just want to maybe go to the library and check it out, you certainly can. But Sweet Disease is a great resource for those of you that are concerned about diabetes. The doctors told you you're prone to diabetes or you already have it. And then the other thing is, so y'all know I wrote another book. It's called God Moments, which is a little bit different, but it was God inspired. So I was obedient, not always obedient. Lord help me with that. But I was obedient and wrote from the Spirit in terms of what the Holy Spirit was telling me to write. And then this is the other book. It's called Apples, Carrots, Kale, Oh My. You can get this on CallieBradford.com and also on Amazon. And this will give you everything that you need to know about juicing, what to juice, how to juice, the different fruit, vegetables, and herbs, and really what type of nutrients they provide, and some of the ailments that they actually help us to be able to, not only cure, but just to rid ourselves of them, period. So if you want to get that Apples, Carrots, Kale, Oh My, it is on CallieBradford.com. So I hope that this information was helpful. And again, I just went with it. I said, you know what? Something in me said I needed to come back and follow up from this morning. So Evangelist Rose, again, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate all of you all's support. And please share this information with everybody. Share it with everybody, because this is knowledge. Knowledge is power, but it's only power when we use it. Right? It's only power when we use it. So the next time you go to that family gathering, I love family gatherings too. Try something new. Try some jambalaya a different way. Saute some cabbage. Saute your greens. Saute, something, and take it to the family and let them try it out. Use baked sweet potatoes instead of regular white potatoes. Make your mashed potatoes and gravy, use cauliflower. If you're not ready to give up your gravy, that's okay. But at least you did something to make a change. So try some cauliflower. Try some cauliflower. I made that for my son the other day, and he absolutely loved it. And he is a rice and gravy young man, but I give him brown rice for sure. So, all right, Sweet Disease and what sugar and artificial sweeteners are doing to your health. And my friend Willis, if you're out there, I need you to pick this up, because yesterday we had a conversation on Facebook about artificial sweeteners in soda. And so now you were in the know. Thank y'all for joining me, and I'm on all your social media. If there's something that you want me to talk about and you want to hear more about, drop me a line right here on this Facebook Live post, or you can certainly hit me up on any social media, or email me at CallieBradford.com. CallieBradford.com. You can email me there, or Callie at GoSmoothies.com. Callie at GoSmoothies.com. GoSmoothies. So I've taken up enough of your afternoon. Thank you all so much. I am going to get ready for my son's 12th birthday, and you all have a magnificent weekend, and change is one thing at a time. Remember that. So I'm here to help you to be healthier, wealthier, and happier. One morsel of food at a time. All right, somebody said, what about parasites? I can talk about parasites next time for sure. But a lot of meat and a lot of dairy cause parasites, and also sugar. There's something going around called candida that a lot of people are suffering from. And good health actually starts from your gut. So if your gut is diseased with a bunch of parasites and stuff like that, then that's an environment for disease to be created. You got to go on a detox to get that out of there. and a colon hydrotherapy as well. So I can expand more on that next time. Mansfield, thank you for asking that. And y'all have a wonderful day. I love y'all. Peace, joy, and happiness to you.